Hello dear learners, welcome to the DENNY English Language Online Classroom. I am your online tutor Mr. Enoch Christian, presenting you this morning a lesson on grammar. We are still in module 5, but this time talking about grammar. Our focus on this grammar of today will be on the use of the modals that express obligation, but this time we shall be using them in relation to our environment. So we shall be using such modals with words or expressions as must, have to, mustn't or must not, don't have to, don't have to. Like I said, we'll be using must, have to, mustn't, don't have to. These four modals will be used in relation to our environment. So by the end of the lesson, you should be able to use them appropriately in telling us the things we must do to our environment, the things we don't have to do in our environment, the things we have to do to our environment, and the things we must do. So thank you so much, and I count on this because I'm happy you already have a mastery of the use of modals that express obligation. So dear learners, we shall continue this lesson in line with what you just saw. I invite each and every one of you for referencing to go to page 194 of your course book, which I'll be using as a common ground for what you all already have. Let's begin our lesson. So like I said, we have must, have to, mustn't, don't have to. You will discuss in your groups why the underlined words are the most appropriate in the sentences below. Let's look at together. 1. We must take care of the environment. The underlined word is must. You are obliged to. We have to plant trees to replace those that have been cut. You mustn't litter your environment. You don't have to be an environmentalist to take care of the environment. Dear learners, you must observe that must, have to, mustn't, and don't have to have been used in these sentences. Let's begin with the cases when they are used. We use must when the speaker thinks it is important or necessary to do an action. We use have to talk about an action that is necessary because of rules. And we use mustn't when something is against the rule or law. And we use don't have to when people are not obliged to do something. For example, must. You must take care of your environment if you want to live healthy. To talk about an action that is necessary, we say you have to drain standing water in order to avoid mosquitoes. You mustn't keep standing water if you want to be mosquito free. And you don't have to litter papers if you are an environmentalist. We therefore discover that in these cases the obligations have been stated clearly. Let's look at the practice here. This is very interesting. Nature's Club has decided that it is important for all club members to do these things. If they say it is important for all club members to do these things, therefore these are the things that the club members must do. Planting flowers, watering the flowers, picking up litter on campus, throwing dirt in trash cans, eating organic food, and cleaning your classroom. Remember, as students of DENNY, especially you in Form 1, you're fond of doing these things already. Let's now go. Let's go further to say, but these things are not allowed. Let's look, just think of DENNY, the school. What are those things that are not allowed? They say using non-degradable plastic bags, walking on lawns, cutting flowers, using pesticides on plants, and eating without washing your hands. Know the importance of hygiene, the things you are not allowed to do. Taking all of this into consideration, my dear learners, it's very now important for us to engage on an activity. It is writing. What is the rule? You imagine that you are a member of the club of nature in your school. Imagine that you are a member of the club of nature in your school. Use words, the words must, have to, mustn't, and don't have to write out the rules and regulations of club members and the general public. I expect you to come out with 10 rules that we must do, or have to do, or mustn't do, or don't have to do concerning our club members and the general public. The general public could be those around your environment. What are those things that you think they are not supposed to do? And around the club members, like you take the Mike DENNY community, your classroom, you know these rules. So I'm expecting you to come up with 10 of such rules. Design it so very well, because I'm going to take that into consideration, so that even if these rules were to be placed in the public, people want to look at them. I want to thank you. As a summary, we have used the modal verb that express obligation: must, have to, mustn't, and don't have to talk about our environments. And using this, we discover that they facilitate, or they keep us in a state of consciousness about the things we are not supposed to do when it comes to our environment. And taking care of our environment is therefore the duty of everyone around us. And it begins from you listening to this right now, taking care of your environment in the best way you can. I'm counting on the exercise on writing, where you are to imagine that you're a member of the club of nature in your school, and you use the following words to come up with 10 rules and regulations of club members and the general public. I want to thank you so much, and I count on you all doing this work. Don't give up, for one day you're going to have your pay. Thank you, and hope to see you in the next lesson. Bye.